Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Modern Cube Draft. It is my anniversary weekend with my girlfriend, and part of my gifts to her is to be shirtless for the entire weekend, so y'all are enjoying the benefits of that too right now. This is a pretty bad pack to start. Well, actually, it's fine. Glen Elendra is quite strong. It's a 2-for-1, and there's a lot of big splashy cards, like Planeswalkers, etc., that Glen is good against. I also like Solitude a lot. A very effective answer. It's good against the aggro decks. Just sometimes you just need to. It's okay to 2-for-1 yourself to slow them down early, and then it's a great card late. It shuts down like Ulamog, Tasigur, all sorts of stuff. I think I'm gonna take the Glen though. Glen is a little bit more of a unique effect, and just a really strong card. Now we have a few options. Goblin Guide is great, but that's not really the direction we're going. We could just take Censor. It's a solid interactive spell that is never dead. You can always just cycle it in the late game. If we had taken the Solitude, we could take like Fateful Absence or maybe Terminus. I do like Board Sweepers a lot in this format, but I think we should just take the Censor. Just a solid, cheap, interactive spell. Yeah, we'll go with that. Okay, interesting pack now. There's not any blue, of course. There are some really good cards, though. I love Grist. I think this card is phenomenal in this format. There's so many Planeswalkers, so the -2 to blow up a Planeswalker is incredible. There's also Kiki-Jiki, and I think infinite combos are really powerful in this format. There's a lot of grindy, sloggy games where you just, like, slam your big threat, they kill it, they slam their big threat, you kill theirs, and you just, like, trade down resources, and having an infinite combo is great. Plus, it's a blue-red combo primarily, so we have some cards for it. Also, in the black cards, I really like Extinction Event and Liliana of the Veil. But I think I'm going to speculate on the Kiki-Jiki. We might not get there. It's not that good unless you have the specific card that it combos with. But I haven't drafted this card in the format yet, and I do think it's pretty solid. So we'll keep our options open and take that. Now we could take... I like Kroxa a lot. This gives you some inevitability, but it stretches the mana pretty thin. We could take Radiant Flames, which is a good board sweeper. Phoenix of Ash is like a worse Kroxa, but it is pretty good. And then there's Time Warp. I think it's between the Time Warp and the Radiant Flames. I think I'm actually going to take the Flames here. In general, I like blue decks, I like blue cards. This seems good, but this is very valuable against a lot of the green, red, and white decks are really struggle against this sort of card. And there's 3 black board sweepers and at least 2, maybe 3 white, or 4 white board sweepers, I think. So there's lots of board sweepers in the format, but they're in black and white, and we're likely to be playing blue-red. So I'm going to take advantage of the opportunity to pick up a sweeper when I get it. Okay, now we can take Den of the Bugbear. There's also Kess, so if we end up with all the colors, we could do that. But I think I'm still going to take the Den of the Bugbear. I really like these lands, and this is probably the best one. Yeah, we'll take the Den. Okay, red is looking open, blue is not. So we could pivot towards just mono red if all the red cards are wheeling. But for the time being, I think we're going to continue to take some of these good red cards. This is good with Kiki-Jiki. But there's also Royal Eruption and Koth. And I think I'll take the Koth here. Koth is really strong. He's very good in the top end of a red deck, a mono red deck. But he's also just good in blue-red. Just a really good card all around, so we'll take that. Okay, some interesting options here. I think we'll take the Dragon's Rage Channeler. This is a good 1-drop. It applies pressure, and it also gives you nice card selection. Especially if we are playing blue and we have some cantrippy stuff, Censor, that sort of thing. Boros Reckoner is solid if we're mono red, and Banefire is a good win condition in the super late game. But I think I'd rather have the Channeler here. Now we get Fury. That's kind of sweet. Good card. Also good with Kiki-Jiki if we end up doing that. Pete and Kieran Lars is fine. Malevolent Hermit is pretty solid too. Search for Contest is fine, but yeah, let's take the Fury. Dark Confidant's also good, but not in our colors. So it remains to be seen if we're going to be mono red or blue red. There's a Soulscar Mage, so if we want to be aggressive, we could take that. But I really like Hall of the Storm Giants, and this is like not a great start for a mono red deck because we're not super aggressive, but if we're not playing any counter magic, it also could be hard to grind. So I think I'm going to take the Hall here. Yeah, this gives us two really good man lands. This card is honestly good enough that I would consider splashing just for Hall of the Storm Giants. And so if it's also like an on-color land, that is even better. Interesting start. I'm pretty happy with it. Wouldn't mind a little bit of card draw. That would probably come from the blue. There's also like a couple red cards that we saw going around. So like if Goblin Guide wheels, maybe we could take that and pivot towards mono red more. Then I'll of course regret now taking the Soulscar Mage. Goblin Guide did come around. I guess I will take it here. I don't think we're an Obosh deck. So we'll take this and then see. I don't really want to be mono red, but if that's what is open, we can move in that direction. Okay, sweet. That's a late Sulphur Falls. Also a late Liliana of the Veil, but we'll take the fixing. That's really nice. Goblin Guide might not be a card that we main deck, but we could bring it in certain matchups. Like against decks that just are going to be able to outgrind us every time. We can bring this in and try and go under them, get a little bit more aggressive. Like cut Radiant Flames, play Goblin Guide. Alright, Phoenix of Ash is a great wheel. Funny that Kroxa came around too, but we'll take the Phoenix. This gives you some redundancy in the late game. Or not redundancy, like staying power, resiliency. It's even better if we, like, with stuff like Dragon's Rage Chandler, ways to fill up the graveyard. So I would love to pick up a Thought Scour, consider any of the blue cantrips like that. Ooh, Bohemond Courier, that's a nice late wheel. May or may not be in the main deck, but it'll be a great addition out of the board if we end up with the aggressive sideboard plan. Note that we first picked, or second picked Glenn. No, first picked Glenn, and second picked Censor, and then got no blue since then other than this one Hall of the Storm Giant. So I don't think blue is that open. If we get, like, top-tier blue cards to start the next pack, we can spend our early picks on those and then get some red wheels. But if we see, like, great red cards, like Seasoned Pyromancer, and no good blue cards, we could still pivot and just be mono-red. And I do actually think you can play mono-red mid-range without being all-in Goblin Guide aggro. But you need the right cards for it. You need to make sure you have card draw. You need to have enough burn. You need to have burn that can kill Planeswalkers specifically. So we'll see if we can get there for that. Ooh, okay. I like Terror of the Peaks, but we should definitely take Royal Eruption. We have no cheap burn. This is good with the Channeler, just a good card all around. And last pick, Banefire. That's sweet. So red is very open. That is for sure. Kind of wishing that I just took the Soulscar Mage now. Alright, pack 2. There is the Seasoned Pyromancer, also Figure of Destiny. Both really good cards. Snapcaster Mage is good too for blue-red. I mean, the red cards in this pack are just amazing. Inferno Titan as well. The two cards I want most out of this pack are Seasoned Pyromancer and Figure of Destiny. Figure of Destiny might get taken by White Drafter. Close pick. We could also just take the Snapcaster Mage and then wheel one of the red cards. But Snap isn't even looking that great in this deck. Yeah, I think I'm going to take the Pyromancer here. It's just so good. This is one of the best red cards in the format. Ragavan's better, but this is so good at any stage of the game. Yeah, I'll take the Pyro. Now we get Zurgo, Bellstriker, and Bone Crusher Giant, and Spell Pierce and Jace. So this is kind of an interesting one. I kind of want to take the Spell Pierce here. I mean, it really just depends. We still need to decide if we're going to be, like, mono-red aggro or not. And I think I'm going to take the Spell Pierce. This is really good in aggressive decks if we have the mana for it. And, yeah, just cheap interaction is great. We'll wheel one of the red cards. Yeah, I'm going to take the Pierce. Close pick, though. I wouldn't fault someone for just, like, fully going towards mono-red. And to be honest, there's a little bit of, like, I just don't want to do that. In terms of, like, win percentage, it's close. It's possible red would be better. It's possible blue-red would be better. Depends a lot on if we get any of the combo pieces with Kiki Jiki. But I just enjoy these decks a lot more. And it's very, very close in terms of win percentage. So I'm going to go with this. I also do just think Spell Pierce is a really, really good card in this format. It's going to be super common for us to go, like, you know, turn 4... like Phoenix of Ash, swing, and then like hold up Spell Pierce and trade or one mana with their entire turn. And that's just an incredibly strong line for us. Now we get Goblin Rabblemaster versus Xander's Lounge. And I think Rabblemaster is going to come around. So I think I'm going to take the Xander's Lounge here. We need to pick up the fixing pretty highly if we're going to try and make the splash happen. And all the blue cards that we have are really strong. I like Rabblemaster a lot, but I think it's pretty likely to come around. Like, we got red cards every single pick. So it is the kind of card that someone who's splashing red could take Rabblemaster because it's very, very good and it is pretty splashable. But I think I'm going to risk it and still take the Xander's Lounge. Okay, now we could take Thundermaw Hellkite, Champion of Wits, or Torrential Gearhulk. I think we should take the Thundermaw. Thundermaw is a really, really strong card. Yeah, we'll take this. Okay, there's a Bloodstained Mire. That's pretty nice. Also, Chandra Dress to kill and Rampaging Ferocidon. But we're going to take the Bloodstained Mire and then hopefully wheel the Chandra. Yeah, I think that seems solid. I really am making concessions for the blue splash here. If Chandra and Rabblemaster both don't come around, could get punished. But now our mana fixing is actually decent, and having Hall of Storm Giants is a really nice addition. Plus, like, 3 blue counterspells will help out a lot against some of the more unfair decks. All right, pretty easy Bolt now. That's amazing. One of the best cards ever printed. Karizev is okay. Sower of Temptation could be pretty good, but yeah, easy Bolt. Very happy to get that one. That's another one of those cards that's going to be amazing if we're mid-range, amazing if we're hard control, and amazing if we're all-in aggro. One other thing I should note for the Xander's Lounge is that gives us some outs to play Radiant Flame for 3, which I like. Okay, Memory Deluge is interesting, but I think we're taking Squee here. Squee overlaps a bit with Phoenix of Ash. They both want you to fill up your graveyard, but it's just a great card too. Like, the front half is fine to cast on its own, so we'll take that. Memory Deluge is good, but that's not really the kind of blue card we're looking for. All right, now we'll take a Burst Lightning. Fanatical Firebrand is fine, but I really want to have some good burn. This is the only fetch land ever printed that doesn't fetch Xander's Lounge, which is kind of funny, but that's fine. Our mana's looking good enough. Okay, Figure of Destiny didn't come around, which is a little bit unfortunate. We could take Galvanic Iteration here, actually. Could also take Inferno Titan. So let's see, the Iteration is good with Bolt, good with Burst Lightning, good with Royal Eruption. It's kind of interesting, but I think I'm still just going to take the Inferno Titan here. This card's really strong. Yeah, let's take that. Now we get Bone Crusher Giant. Zergo's good, but I think the Giant's a bit better. All right, I think we're not main decking Radiant Flames at this point. But all the rest of these cards look really good. I guess right now we're also not main decking Kiki. It's good with Inferno Titan and Thundermaw, but, like, that's the classic win more situation where, like, you've cast multiple 5-drops. They can't kill either one, even your 2/2. Like, you're going to win that game either way. You don't need to be copying Inferno Titan. Now we get the Rabblemaster on the wheel. That's pretty sweet. Champion of Wits, also not bad. All right, so we're going to have millions of playables here. Still lacking a bit of card draw. Champion of Wits and Seasoned Pyromancer are card draw. And actually, with both, with 2 escape cards, Squee and Phoenix of Ash, I really like having the draw discard effects of Champion of Wits and Seasoned Pyromancer. Wouldn't mind more stuff like that. We're going to have to make some brutal cuts. I'm already struggling to decide what to cut, and it's only going to get harder. One option, again, is just to cut blue. And bring it in against, like, control decks that have a lot of Planeswalkers. We'll see. Nice. Chandra wheeled. Rampaging Ferocidon's fine too, but Chandra's better. It does get better the more red you are, so, like, there will be some situations where we use this +1 and then flip a Champion of Wits, and that kind of sucks, but still a really good card. Kari Wheeled, no surprise there. Okay, I'm increasingly thinking we might just want to be mono red in the interest of having like we're gonna need to make a bunch of cuts either way. This will give us a bit of consistency. Then we can play the Goblin Guide. We'll see. I'm not committed to this, but it's looking pretty tempting. Okay, Eidolon and Thundering Rebuke are both decent. I think we should just take the Eidolon, though. We have decent removal now, and Eidolon is a really, really powerful threat that pushes a lot of damage. Yeah, let's take that. I think we're just going to, like, accept that we're mono red now. There is Fire Ice, which is good. A lot of good cards here, actually. Fable, Bedlam Reveler, Lava Dart. I think I want to take the Fable. It's another card that plays well with all our escape stuff. Yeah, we'll take this and then try and wheel Lava Dart. Theirs isn't Boiler Works, but I think at this point we're just going to be mono red. Chandra's great. That's the card we want the most out of this pack, but I'm going to take the Flame Slash and then try and wheel the Chandra. Should come around. Yeah. Now we get Legion Warboss versus Char. There's also more blue-red fixing and like Ledger Shredder, which would be good here. But I think we're just going to take the Warboss. Alright, now we can cut Kiki-Jiki, cut Inferno Titan, lower the curve a bit. We can bring in that stuff for the more grindy matchups. But I do think at this point we're just going to be an aggro deck. So I wish we had the Soulscar Mage. I think we played this draft well. Like, even though we ended up spending a lot of picks on blue stuff that we're not playing and missing out on some red stuff, the only card, I guess, like, Figure of Destiny and Soulscar Mage would both be reasonable upgrades. But we have so many playables, so it's not like we are really going to suffer for not having enough red spells. And I do genuinely think this is a good sideboard plan to be able to bring in certain matchups. Okay. Grim Lavamancer looks good here. I would love to play Serum Visions, but I don't think we're doing that at this point. Grim Lavamancer would be great. There's also Field of Ruin, though, which I actually think I'm going to take here for two reasons. First of all, I think Grim Lavamancer is pretty likely to come around. I mean, like, red is incredibly open. Half of our sideboard is red cards, and the other half is cards that we took over red cards that we could have taken. And yeah, so I think this is likely to come around. And Field of Ruin is really good in this format. There's tons of mana lands and just other general value lands. And then also, like, we're mono red with no other utility lands. So this doesn't really hurt as much at all. There could be games where, like, we can't play Eidolon on turn 2 because of Field of Ruin. But I think usually this will be just a upgrade for us pretty strictly. Now we can take Outpost Siege or Young Pyromancer. There's the Pestermite. So that actually is an option too. But I think at this point, I'd rather just be streamlined and consistent. Young Pyromancer actually looks pretty good here. We have like Lightning Bolt, Burst Lightning, Flame Slash, Bone Crusher Giant, Royal Elemental, lots of cheap instants and sorceries. And there's a Swift Spear versus a Incinerate. There's a chance we could get the last pick with Swift Spear. But I think I'm going to take the Swift Spear. It's really important to have cheap threats, and we have a lot of 1-drops, but we only have 3 1-mana creatures right now. Hopefully we will the Lavamancer, but I think we still want to take the Swift Spear. Now we can take a Lightning Strike. There is Expressive Iteration. I mean, blue-red is super open. Also Chandra, but that's more of a mid-range grindy card. I'd rather have the proactive card. Now we get Thundering Rebuke. Lava Dart, I think, is better than Fire Ice. Yeah, Lava Dart seems good here. All right, this deck is incredible. What is the cut? Maybe we move Thunder and Rebuke to the board because we have a lot of burn, and I want my burn to go to the face. And we could play 15 lands, so we could run the deck like this. But then, of course, we're going to get some wheels, including Chandra, which I think is a bit better than Abbott here. Especially when we already have, like, other Chandra and Koth. There's a Char. Lavamancer wheeled. Oh, my gosh. I mean, red is just as open as I've ever seen a color. I think I'm going to move Banefire to the board. Outpost Siege is a good sideboard card, too. Last pick, Incinerate. Oh, my gosh. Wow. So I'm going to play the Fury and the Thundermaw because they push damage immediately. Banefire, I guess Banefire is really good. Maybe we just can't cut this. But what can we cut? Every card is so good. Maybe Thundermaw and Fury. But we still need to make more cuts. Flame Slash, I guess, can go to the board. I want all these 1s. I want all these 2s. I want all these 3s. We can't play 14 lands. We need to play at least 15. This is absurd. Maybe Grim Lavamancer plus Phoenix of Ash plus Squee is too many things that use the graveyard, so we could like cut the Phoenix. It's really close, though. Phoenix is great. I think I'll actually cut Squee over Phoenix. And then 12 Mountains and run like this. This deck is just phenomenal. I mean, red was so open. I really want to play Flame Slash, too. It's just so efficient. But I can't cut any of these other cards. Yeah, we'll run like this. This deck is just, like, absolutely busted. With a great sideboard, too. All right. Got an opponent quickly. Let's pop my face on up to the top. My face and chest. All right, sweet. We're on the play. That's where every deck wants to be, especially red decks. Got a good aggressive curve. This is the perfect hand where you just like don't care at all about Goblin Guide giving them lands because your goal is to kill them before that matters. Ooh, whoops. Spilled coffee on my computer. Also, for those of you who are like, what are you doing filming a Magic video when it's your anniversary weekend? We've done plenty of anniversary stuff. It's been a great weekend. We went to a ping pong bar for a double date with some friends and then went to a wine bar afterwards on Friday night. Then on Saturday, we went to a casino, which was a lot of fun. Also went out for dinner. Tonight, we're watching a baseball game together, and we went to Costco, which is Nikki's favorite thing in the whole world. I've like given her some massages, plenty of pampering, so don't worry about her. She can handle me drafting one video. She'll probably hear me saying this and complain later, but that's okay. The key for when your girlfriend complains is to just ignore it. Sometimes. If it's like a legitimate complaint, you gotta deal with that. But like, if you've been spoiling her all weekend and then you stop spoiling her for a second and she complains, if you apologize, then she feels vindicated and she'll complain even more. So you just gotta be like, Nikki, you know that you have it good. Stop complaining. And she's like, yeah, you're right. All right, Bash for 2. Good turn 1. We reveal, Thragtusk. That's really good against us. To bolt the bird or to not bolt the bird? I think I am going to. I'm just going to go Burst Lightning here, hit for 2. I would like to get the Karizev down, but we already have some pressure, and we can potentially Lightning Bolt their play this turn, and then resolve Rabblemaster next turn. Treasure Map is kind of annoying because that's a play that we can't bolt. Then the question is, do we just bolt their face? And I think the answer is no. We should have a window to bolt later because it's so cheap. Yeah, I'm just going to crack this for Mountain and then untap. Incinerate. Okay, good draw. Goblin Guide and Rabblemaster are kind of a combo because this gets added power for each goblin, not just goblin tokens. So Rabblemaster will pump, or Goblin Guide will pump the Rabblemaster. They scry one of their upkeep, which is definitely a sign of weakness. Can we kill them next turn? Let's see, we'll have 3 goblins attacking, so that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, plus 2 bolt. So yeah, we have lethal pretty easily on turn 4. That is how you build a red deck. Kogla on top. I mean, could be a pretty tough matchup. Kogla and Thragtusk are both great against us. I'm just going to pass and then burn them in their upkeep just in case they have something weird. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but like better safe than sorry. Incinerate your face. Lightning bolts your face. All right. Can't really ask for a better start than that. Mono green could be a tough matchup, though. Let's bring in Flame Slash to deal with their dorks. Thundermaw could be interesting. Fury could be interesting. Inferno Titan is solid. So these are all the options. What seems bad? So things that just attack on the ground are worse. I honestly might cut the Goblin Guide. Yeah, I think Goblin Guide's fine to cut. Let's bring in Fury. And bring in Thundermaw. And bring out, like, Rabblemaster Warboss. They were good there, but it's sort of funny cutting all the cards that won us game one. But the problem is those cards are only good when they don't have blockers on the ground. And they're just playing so many Thragtusky type cards that are good blockers on the ground. So what I want to have is flyers, like Thundermaw Hellkite and Phoenix of Ash. Burn spells that can kill their things and also burn them out. Yeah, I mean, basically those things. Could bring in Thunder and Rebuke. Could bring in Inferno Titan. Because they also don't have much removal. So cards that are just, like, incredible if they can survive become better. So we could cut, like, Kari Zev, maybe, for Inferno Titan. Yeah, I think we'll do this on the draw. On the play, we will go back to a hyper aggro build if we need to. But I think I like this on the draw. Okay, solid hand. No turn one play, but good mix of lands and spells, couple removal spells, and then Thundermaw, which is one of our best cards in the matchup. They have the 1-drop, and we cannot kill it, unfortunately, unless we top deck Burn Spell. Alright, so they get 3 mana on turn 2. Hopefully they don't do anything too bad this turn. Okay, nice. Just attacking is exactly what we wanted. And then we can kill this guy. Ooh, Lava Dart. That's a good draw. I think I'm actually still going to stomp this, though, for mana efficiency, but it's close. They didn't have a 3-drop last turn, so yeah, unlikely to this turn. I'm going to play Eidolon plus Dragon's Rage Channeler here rather than playing the Bone Crusher Giant. It's close, but I think it's better to get the multiple threats down. And also, we're pretty likely to use a burn spell next turn, so I like the idea of having the DRC in play to get the Surveil going. Four mana, what's this? Like Walking Ballista? Genesis Hydra for 2. Do they hit something? No, they don't. So just a 2/2 for 4. That's a pretty bad rate. We draw a tapped land, kind of awkward. But it's fine. We can Royal Eruption this. Surveil. Alright, Inferno Titan, kind of expensive. Plus, I want to get Delirium as soon as possible. We don't quite have Delirium yet. We actually could Lava Dart their face just to get Delirium, and I think that's actually worth it. Yeah, let's do that. This is like kind of bolting them. And we can still flash it back if we need to. Soul Surveil. Do we want to draw Fable of the Mirror Breaker? I think the answer is no, actually, because I want to play Thundermaw Hellkite ideally next turn. So we hit them for 5, and then next turn, if we draw land, we can play Thundermaw and swing for 8 in the air. Do they have the Thragtusk? They don't. Wow. Okay. So we didn't draw the land, but we can still play Koth. And Koth is almost as good given that they didn't play a blocker. Interesting. I guess I'll top this. Like, Flood is a real concern with this deck in general, but if we can just guarantee playing Thundermaw next turn, that seems pretty good. And we have Den of the Bugbear as flood insurance. So we swing for 9, and then it seems really hard for them to win this one. Kogla fine. I mean, this doesn't have reach, so Thundermaw should win. They kill our Dragon's Rage Chandler. It's sort of funny that this Eidolon only hurt us. It dealt us, I believe, 6 damage and didn't do anything to the opponent. So Thundermaw for the win. Alright, so we absolutely dismantle Mono Green in round 1. Good start. I will see you in round 2. Alright, here we are for round 2 against @CanPete. We are on the play, which is excellent, and we have a very good hand. Banefire in the opener isn't really what you want. Like, I'd rather that be even Thundermaw, but certainly like a Burn Spell, Flame Slash, Fury, Squee, but it's fine. We can stick a Monastery Swiftspear and then curve out with non-creature spells that buff the Swiftspear, which is kind of sweet. Take 1. Playing against white. I could imagine white being a tough matchup in general, but with this hand, I'm happy that they're playing, like that they play a 1-drop creature and whatnot, so we should be good for game 1, probably. Take 2. Thalia. Oh, Smuggler's Copter. That's great news. I think I'm going to get the Rabble Master down first here. It snowballs the most, and the next one we can play Fable. Or not. I mean, we also might just play Banefire for, like, to kill their blocker. But it's, like, if they play a creature and then tap it to crew their Copter, they don't have any blockers back. I guess they could play a creature... Oh, Legion's Landing. Okay, that's kind of annoying. Because they might be able to double spell with that. Legion's Landing into Thalia. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty annoying. So we have a few options. Like right now, we don't have good attacks at all. If we attack, they just crew the Copter with their Vampire token and then block both of our Goblins. We could just let that happen, though, and still play the Fable. There's some advantage in getting the Fable down sooner rather than later, because we can flip it, and if we get to start copying Rabble Master, that's kind of sweet. Yeah, I think I'm going to play Fable and just, like, let us lose our Goblin. That was a really strong turn for them, though. The fact that they could double spell and set up the Copter so well. So we're just going to send in these Goblins, not attack with anything else. Yep, they found the line. They crew the Copter. I mean, this is just a brutal attack. We have to lose our Goblin that we already had, and they get to loot with Copter. And we get no damage or any value at all. But that's, I mean, it's fine. But we actually are probably losing now. I think they're slightly ahead. Depends a lot on what they have, though. If they just, like, slam Gideon, Ally of Zendikar here, things get... Oh, wait. Well, I guess the Thalia taxing them. Usher of the Fallen, that's fine. It would be great if we could draw a Lightning Bolt to kill that Copter. This is where Rabble Master becomes pretty bad, though, as you can see. Like, they have ground blockers, so he just doesn't really do much. Okay, do we want to we're definitely discarding Mountain. I think I'm going to keep the Lavamancer, so we'll just discard Mountain. Draw another Mountain, sure. So let's go land... Banefire your Thalia. Then we'll attack with everything. They could have Ephemerate. Okay, that resolves, and now we're just going to swing with everything, and we're going to lose some stuff, but they only get one, like, free block with the Copter. They could trade Usher of the Fallen with the Rabble Master, which is, of course, a good deal for them, but we get to push some damage, and we also get to fill up our graveyard. I guess, maybe it's wrong to attack with the Rabble, because now we can't really get as much value out of the Fable of the Mirror Breaker, but I think it's still worth it to just try and pressure them here. Also, keeping the board clear so that they don't get to flip their Legion's Landing and their Windbrisk Heights. So they... Oh, wait, are they going to let us untap with Rabble Master? Or do they have, like, Path to Exile? If we get to hit them for 6 here, I feel pretty good about it. Nice. Now we'll get the Grim Lavamancer down and pass turn. And their board is pretty small. And Lavamancer is great here. It can pressure their life total. It can also kill dudes. They just main phase cycle Savai Triome. That's a very weak line. Alright, I was feeling a little bit nervous in the middle, but things are looking good now. Definitely taking 2. They're just doing this so that they can boast, but it doesn't really... Okay, yeah, they concede. Alright, so very strong start. We are still yet to drop a game. Mono White's a tough matchup, but we get to do a similar sideboard plan. Definitely want Inferno Titan. I think we want Thunder and Rebuke. We could even just go full control and bring in Radiant Flames. Although, actually, that's bad if we only have it for 1. Definitely want Fury. Definitely want Flame Slash. We're going to cut the Goblin Guide, cut Rabble Master, cut Legion Warboss. I think Thunder and Rebuke looks solid. Potentially over... Like, Koth is a little bit weaker when they can attack it effectively. This seems solid. And then we brought in Inferno Titan, but we also cut Koth and some 3-drops, so we didn't raise our curve by that much. Outpost Siege is also a somewhat interesting option. Both modes seem pretty relevant. I think I'm going to keep it like this on the play, or on the draw. On the play, we'll bring in Koth again, maybe Goblin Guide. Sounds obviously not great. If we could mulligan to a hand of like 3 lands, 3 spells, that might be better. But I think I will keep this. Yeah, I'll keep this, because Bonecrusher Giant is sort of 2 spells in 1. We can also fetch a land out of our deck to slightly decrease our frequency of lands. It is close, though. I wouldn't fault someone for shipping this. Drawing land there is obviously a disaster. Grab Mountain and pass. On the bright side, though, we have very few lands left in our deck. That's 5, 6, 7 accounted for, so there's only 9 remaining out of 31 cards. There's a Smuggler's Copter. A little bit annoying, because we can't kill that with either of our burn spells. I'm just going to stomp this. It doesn't feel great, but it does stop them from gaining life, and it means, like, one plan for dealing with Copters to try and just kill all the rest of their things so that they can't crew it, especially if you don't have ways to actually kill a Copter. There's a chance they don't even have a spell here, which would be amazing. Awesome. And we draw another Sorcery Speed burn spell, okay. Would we want to get the Bonecrusher Giant down or the Chandra? Honestly, I think Bonecrusher Giant's better here, because they're almost definitely going to crew the Copter this turn, and so they could just hit Chandra down to 1, and then, like, it's going to be very hard to keep her alive. So we'll just get the threat down. He hits pretty hard. Having a little bit of lag here. Hopefully. Lingering Souls. Okay. That's pretty annoying. Okay, I'm going to start by attacking for 4. They might trade with the Copter. In which case, that'd be great. Then we can close combat, play Chandra, and plus it. And it'll be a lot harder for them to kill it. They also could chump block it or just take 4. Okay, they are going to trade with the Copter. I'm happy about this. If we played Chandra pre-combat, they would know about the Chandra, and then they would probably not make this trade. Alright, yeah, this seems fine. So we go land, Chandra, and then we'll plus. Pass turn. These burn spells line up really poorly with everything they've played this game, unfortunately. It's possible they're just super flooded though. Like if they just swing, if they don't play a spell here, or if they play a spell that we can easily trade with one of these, one of our burn spells, we're in a pretty good spot. We don't have that much of a proactive plan, but we have a lot of live top decks, and we're not behind on board at all. Knowing that they have Lingering Souls, I think I will bring in Thundermaw Hellkite for game 3 if we get there. No play. Wow. They could have Archangel Avacyn. I think I'm gonna still just make some dudes though and see. Like we haven't seen Archangel Avacyn out of their deck. Yeah, let's go for this. And Thunder Rebuke deals with it fairly well. If they do have the Angel, they can like kill our Chandra. Let's see, do they have it? Okay, it looks like they don't. So we have a decent amount of burn in our hand here. Do we want to Thunder Rebuke one of these souls? I really don't. Yeah, I think I'm just going to pass. Restoration Angel. Okay, that's fine. They're going to get to kill our Chandra, but then we're going to get to kill their Angel. Oh, but they also get to flip their Legion's Landing and use Windbrisk Heights. So I think I actually am going to incinerate one of these tokens. It doesn't feel good, but I don't want them to be able to attack with 3 creatures. So it's really just going to come down to our top decks at this point. Like we have no threats. We have only drawn 1 creature this whole game, but we have a lot of live top decks. The best being Inferno Titan. Okay, Thalia's fine. And Phyrexian Revoker also fine. We still really want to keep them off of attacking with 3 creatures, so I'm going to go double burn spell here. They named Grim Lavamancer. That's a reasonable name. We will see what we draw. Not good. So let's go Royal Eruption, Thalia, Thunder and Rebuke, Restoration Angel, and play the Den of the Bugbear. We don't have enough mana. If we're not killing the Thalia, we don't have enough mana for 2 burn spells. So we want to kill the Thalia first. I guess they could have Mana Tithe here, but I think that's pretty unlikely from the way they've been playing. They haven't been representing it. Yeah, that just doesn't seem that likely. All right, pass back. This game is still very even. Cycles of Eye and that's interesting because if they played it, they could have flashed back Lingering Souls. What is this? Walking Ballista for 1? Oh, Porcelain Legionnaire, okay. Legionnaire is kind of annoying because that means we can't attack with the Den of the Bugbear. So we need to top deck something. Inferno Titan would be amazing. It would just sweep their board. Yeah, we'll see what we top deck. Give me something good, deck. Please. Alright. That's shut down by the Phyrexian Revoker. But if they want to flip their things, we can kill their Revoker. I think I'm going to hold these 2 lands in hand. Well, I'll hold 1 land in hand in case we draw Fable of the Mirror Breaker. But having a bunch of lands in play could help us if we draw Banefire or Inferno Titan. Okay, it's going to be tough to overcome all this stuff, but we do get to flip our... If we get to get Grim Lavamancer going, that will give us a ton of value. We have a pretty stacked graveyard. So we'll try to trade here. And we'll see they could have a way to save their Revoker or to kill our Grim Lavamancer. We'll see what's under the Windbrush Heights. If it's Archangel Avacyn, I'll concede. The Wandering Emperor. Can this give first strike? Yeah, so I think I am fine conceding to this. I guess I'll take a draw step. If we drop deck Inferno Titan, we could win, but that's really good. So they get this first strike down our thing. We don't get to unlock our Grim Lavamancer. And then they have a Danto flipped, so they can start going off with that. We're also down to 10, and they're still at a high life total. History of Benalia, okay. So I think we're winning if we top deck Inferno Titan right now, but if not, it's going to be tough. The problem with this game was that we were just way too reactive. We had a bunch of burn spells that didn't line up that well. That's an answer to a Danto, but I'm going to... Well, yeah, I'll concede to this. All right. How do we want to change this for game 3? They have a lot of things that make tokens and go wide, which is a little bit bad. We could bring in these dudes again on the play and just try and like remove their blockers. And maybe we cut Banefire and bring these guys back in. And then the last cut can be Inferno Titan, and we'll just go fully proactive, try and be fast. At that point, do we want Goblin Guide too? Probably. Maybe over Thunder. Well, no, that deals with a lot of things pretty effectively. Fury seems good. All these 3 seem pretty good. I'm not going to go 14 lands. All right, I'll cut the Legion War Boss. Don't want to have too many 3-drops. All right, on the play here. We're trying to be fast. Let's see it. Snapkeep. This hand's incredible. Man, I really regret updating OBS. I feel like I've had much worse lag since I did that. So we play the Goblin Guide, hit them for 2. Nice aggressive start. I wish we had something to add to the board on turn 2, but Incinerate's fine too. Okay, they have Scrap Heap Scrounger on top. They definitely should have cut that, especially on the draw. Eidolon, interesting. Yeah, I think it's a little bit better to play Eidolon here than to play the Incinerate. It's more proactive, and we can just Incinerate this later. There's no real rush for doing that. Take 2. Restoration Angel on top. Okay, that's a good one to know about. They play Usher of the Fallen. That's fine. Although, actually, that is kind of annoying, because that combined with Giver of Ruins shuts down our attacks pretty well. Oh, they didn't have a land. Wow. Um, how do we want to deal with this? I want to be able to attack. I think we need to get rid of this Giver of Runes. So we're just going to pass and then char them, char the Giver of Runes in their upkeep. Could also Incinerate instead. But I think mana efficiency is a little bit better than 1 damage here, although it is close. Actually, no reason to do it in their upkeep. I'm going to wait until the end of turn. Char your Giver. They could have Mana Tithe here, which would be a little bit annoying, but looks like they don't. Okay, sweet. That works. Now we have good attacks. Bomat Courier. Okay, a couple options here. We could go Incinerate plus Courier if we don't want them to kill our thing. Could also go Chandra plus into Courier, and I think that's a bit better. We're dealing ourselves a lot of damage here with this Eidolon, but that's not important. Alright, so let's add some mana. And deal 1 damage to you. And then we can attack them for 5. They'll probably trade with the Eidolon. And then they're taking 3, and we have a big board, and they have 1 mana, so it's going to be tough for them to come back. It's a little too bad they got stuck on 1 land here. That's a sort of anticlimactic ending. It's not over, but it's going to be tough for them to get back into this one. They do finally find their planes, so they can play a 2-drop, but hopefully for their sake it's not just a Scrap Heap Scrounger. Phyrexian Revoker. Okay, that would be good for them, but we have the Incinerate. If we draw land, we can use Chandra for mana and play our hand. If we don't draw land, I guess we'll just Incinerate that and then probably not do much else, but still hopefully be fine. Okay, that was a good draw too. So let's go Incinerate your dude, then plus Chandra for mana and play Karzev. They just concede. All right, sweet. So we are 2-0. We did lose 1 game, but still looking pretty good. Go into the finals, fighting for trophy number 4. See you there. All right, here we are for the finals against ELC Sum. We are on to play, and we have a good hand. We need some land, but got a lot of burn. This hand will line up very well against creature decks. If Lava Dart gets to be a 2-for-1, that would be pretty incredible. So we'll play our Lava Man, pass turn. Next turn, hopefully we can get the Pyromancer down. Lavamancer is not the best of our 1-drops for turn 1. It's not very explosive. It's a bit more of a late game card, but still a good one here. They played Llanowar Elves. Okay, so now we have an interesting choice. Do we let them have the extra mana for a turn? I don't really want to. Ooh, that was a great draw. Okay, now I'm going to go Lava Dart and just hold up Grim Lavamancer activation. Nah, let's use Bone Crusher Giant, actually. If they don't play another 1 toughness creature, I will kind of regret this, but Bone Crusher Giant, it would be pretty awkward if they just passed, and then we didn't use our mana efficiently, and, I mean, I guess we could Lavamancer their face, but that seems kind of loose, so, yeah. Let's just make sure we use our mana, all of our mana every turn. Next turn we can hopefully go Pyromancer plus Lava Dart. Take 1. This is a great hand against Mono Green, though. If they can't kill the Lavamancer, that'll give us tons of value. We have a lot of ways to destroy their mana elves. And then hopefully... Oh, they're playing blue-green. Okay. That could make things a little bit worse. They suspend Riftwind, Cloudscape, and pass. That's strange. I guess not that strange, but not that scary. Riftwind, Cloudscape is pretty weak here. Oh, that was the best draw on our deck, potentially. Rabblemaster is going to put a lot of pressure on, and blue-green is not a color combination that has access to much removal. They're probably going to need to beat this by playing blockers, but we have tons of ways to take out their blockers. So, really looking good for us here. And like almost any draw is good. Land would be fine because it would let us double spell. Most spells we could cast. Yeah, feeling good about this game. Just not feeling good about this lag. So we'll see what they do here. If they played a 4 toughness thing, like if they go land Courser of Crewfix or something like that, that could be kind of annoying. I guess it still wouldn't be that bad, though. We'd just have to use 2 burn spells for it. But hopefully they either pass or play something that we can trade with a Lava Dart. That'd be best case scenario. We could go like Pyromancer, Lava Dart your dude, swing for a million. Lava Dart's a cool card. I like it. What's your 3-drop? That'd be hilarious if it was something like Narset. Lotus Cobra. And we drew the Bolt. Okay. I mean, this is looking great. So we can play Pyromancer, play Lava Dart. I guess they could have Spell Pierce, but that's fine. I might even just flashback the Lava Dart if they did that. And then we have lots of burn in our hand. All right, attack with everyone. Imagine if this Grim Lavamancer was a Ragavan. It'd be absolutely lethal. They could have a Dismember. That's what we want to avoid. But if they had Dismember, they probably would have killed the Rabblemaster earlier. So I think they're just going to be taking 7 here. And we have 7 points of burn. So they're going to need something pretty drastic here. I don't even think their Riftwing comes off this turn. Yeah. Looking good. I'm not going to F6 here because there is a world where we want to use Lava Dart end of turn to make a 1-1. All right, they concede. So blue-green should be a solid matchup because we can kill their mana pretty easily. It does depend if they're playing a lot of like Thragtusky type cards, like Thragtusk, Elder Gargaroth. Those could be a bit of an issue. I think there's another matchup where Thundermaw seems pretty good because they're likely to have weak removal. Flame Slash also seems pretty good. Let's cut Goblin Guide because giving them lands is a little sketchy. And Legion Warboss on the draw. Thundering Rebuke is an option. Fury seems pretty good, actually. We should probably play Fury. I think I'll bring in Fury over Karzev. Yeah, let's submit like this. It's close. There's a few different ways that seem reasonable, but once again, ground attackers are not exactly where we want to be against these sorts of decks in general. But the beauty of having 9 reasonable sideboard cards is that you're always going to have good options. I mean, we could even side in blue. We never played against a matchup where we really won it, but if we were playing against like blue-white control with like board sweepers and planeswalkers, being able to spell pierce their Day of Judgment is pretty incredible. So pretty much, actually, literally every single card that we drafted, except for Lava Claw Reaches, is a reasonable card to bring in. And even Lava Claw Reaches, actually. There's some matchups where we, like if we were in the mono red mirror, we might want to bring in Radiant Flames on the draw. And then we could just play Lava Claw Reaches to give it X equals 2. So literally every single card we drafted is a reasonable card to bring in some situations, which is kind of awesome. All right, on the draw here, but with a great hand. Once again, Banefire in the opener isn't really where you want to be, but it's fine. Actually, maybe we should have sided out Banefire. I would definitely rather that be a Karzev in this hand. And this is like the kind of card you want against control decks that are trying to play a really long game and then counter your key spells. And you just Banefire them for 6 for the win or something. Um, but we'll see. Maybe it'll end up being good. I love Beaumont Courier. Really cool card. Probably won't be that good in this game, but cool card nonetheless. Hopefully they don't have a 1-drop. Okay, they don't. We don't have a way to kill their 1-drop this game, so they could get a pretty nice mana advantage if they had the Llanowar Elves, but they do not. I think that's bad. Actually, no. Well, yeah, I think this is a bit better. We're pretty likely to need to play a burn spell next turn. It means we're gonna have fewer cards under the Beaumont Courier, but I think that's fine. I would rather be able to get some surveil value and try to dig for more lands. Beaumont Courier is pretty good with DRC though. It puts 2 card types into the graveyard on its own, and you can also just like discard hands to give yourself your whole hand to give yourself Delirium. If they just pass, I'll wish I had played the Beaumont, because then we're going to be playing the Young Pyromancer. But in general, in these situations, I think you assume that the opponent has a good play, because if they do nothing, we're in good shape either way. Okay, yeah, they did do nothing, but still looks good. We're going to play Young Pyromancer here, almost definitely. Yep, definitely going to play the Pyro. So we're going to play land. We're going to swing first, just in case they have like a kill spell. They might kill this, but they would rather actually kill the Pyromancer. All right, so we get to hit them for 1. They're down to 18. And then we can drop our Pyromancer into play. They might have a counterspell, and that's fine if they do. All right, it resolves. Hopefully no play end of turn. Oh, okay, that's fine. That's card disadvantage for them. Fading Hope, based on the name, sounds like a black card, not a blue card. So next turn, we can either go... I mean, we have lots of options. We could play Chandra. We could play Pyromancer plus Beaumont Courier. If they play a blocker, we could play Beaumont plus Royal Eruption. They scribe to the top. That's a little scary, but still, you got to feel pretty good about this position. They mulliganed and played a card disadvantage spell, and our hand is really good. They just pass again. Okay, so Chandra is the best if it works, but I think I want to double spell here to insulate ourselves against a counterspell. So I'm just going to play Beaumont Courier, swing with both, and then play Pyromancer post-combat. They could have Shark Typhoon here, and that's fine. It's not ideal. They do get a 2-for-1, but at least we also get to kill the shark. If they have Endurance, that would be bad. Looks like they do not. Their life total is high here, which isn't great, but I still think we're in a very good position because we have a lot of stuff on board, and they aren't really... like, if they had a bunch of white mana and board sweepers, and they just go, like, Plains, Wrath of God, we would be in pretty bad shape. But if they're just trying to, like, play blockers, we have such good removal for them. Lotus Cobra, okay, we can kill that pretty easily. Oh, Lotus Cobra into Misty Rainforest is kind of scary. So they're gonna have 4 mana. We'll see what they have. We can potentially go Fury, like pitch for Fury if they play another thing. Probably pitching Banefire, and then we could play Chandra and make some dudes and beat down. Dungeon Geists. Okay, I mean, Fury lines up really, really well here. I guess we probably won't be able to get Delirium here, but still, looking good. Phoenix of Ash, good draw. Still playing, I think, the Chandra, though. Let's go Fury, pitching Banefire. So that's just, I mean, Fury's so good here. It's a 0 mana 2 for 2, but it trades with 6 mana of their cards. And we also got to pitch a card that was looking pretty awkward anyways. So you do get to keep the Beaumont Courier tapped down for a turn, but still looking pretty good. We can play the Chandra. And then swing for 5. Flame Slash. I think I'm going to bin that. Yeah, I'll bin that. If we really need to, we can flash it back with Chandra. It's a little bit annoying because it's another sorcery, and we already have, like, we're going to put a sorcery in the yard soon. I'd have loved to have seen a land, I guess, but we're in a really good spot. They're going to 10. They only have 2 cards. They also only have 4 lands, so they can't do any, like, you know, like busted Ugin type things. Take 5. And if we draw land, we can go Royal Eruption and then flashback Royal Eruption with Chandra for 6 damage right there. Mind Stone. That's not very scary. They would need to have played something like Thragtusk or Elder Gargaroth, like a green creature that gains life and blocks well. And Mind Stone is not that. I guess Mind Stone into Questing Beast would be kind of annoying, because they could kill our Chandra. And actually, that would be annoying, because then we couldn't even kill their thing. Oh, man. Come on. They just played Mind Stone Pass. That's pretty weak. I think I'm just going to go for max damage here. We go land, and we're going to try to, yeah, let's just go for the kill. Hopefully we can get Delirium here. We get 2 Surveil triggers to get Delirium. And we need to get, I guess we do need to get 2 different card types, but a lot of different card types would do it. We also get to make some 1/1s. Nice. That's a new card type. And now let's flash back the Royal Elemental, or the Royal Eruption. Okay, they concede. Sweet. All right, got the trophy. Pretty good. Mono Red is a good deck. We will pull up the deck list. This was our Mono Red masterpiece. Got the trophy. We did lose 1 game, but that was a close one, and most of the other games we won pretty easily. There wasn't even that many close battles. We were just extremely fast, and everyone was not ready to keep up with that. They had, usually the way it would work is they would have, 1 or 2 early plays that we could very efficiently trade with our burn spells. And then our threats like Goblin Rabblemaster or, even Goblin Guide would just close the game by themselves. So, yeah, I think Mono Red's a great deck in this format. You're a little soft to board sweepers and, certain cards that gain a lot of life, like Baneslayer Angel. But most decks are just not prepared for something this fast. They're all set up for grindy, mid-range battles. So this is a good way to just attack from a different angle. I was not trying to draft this deck. We got a bunch of blue cards early on. And then even solidly into pack two, late pack two. We were still trying to make blue red happen. But eventually, it just became too hard to resist the mono red menace, and I'm happy we did it. It was a fun league. It's fun to be like the one taking action, being the one that's proactive, and they're responding to you. It's a fun place to be. Um, we never really had any Koth games or Banefire games, and I don't think we cast Season Pyromancer a single time. So a lot of the cards that I was most excited about ended up not even being factors. But then like Lava Dart was amazing. Rabble Master was amazing. Both of the Chandras were pretty solid. So yeah, Thunderball won us one game out of the board, which was kind of sweet. I think Mono Red's a great choice. If it's open, it's incredible. You definitely don't want to be fighting someone to be in this lane, but if you're alone in it, you'll win a lot of games. So here we are. We got the trophy. Good draft. We're one trophy away from being on the leaderboard, so hopefully we can get that soon. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.